Hey everybody, Steven here, and this is the first kind of like video log for our fifth book, I believe. A completely new idea. Right now, the current like holding title is Book Venturers, but that's just a holder for right now. So with this video log is just going to be kind of the behind the scenes stuff that's going on with us trying to actually create this book. So I've had this idea for, man, it's got to be going on 6-7 years now, and it's just something I've had on the back burner. Every now and then an idea would come to kind of form it a little bit more. This past year I started putting everything into a Google Sheets doc, which is what we do with all of our books. So we use Google Docs to write it, and then we use Google Sheets to kind of outline the book itself. So right now we're in the early phases. I've been working on this, I want to say off and on since June of this year. So I'll do a little bit and then leave, because we have other books that we've been working on. So now that those are done, this is the next thing. So this is our main focus. Worked on it a lot more this weekend. I go back and forth. So sometimes it sucks when we have an idea and we're trying to form it and it just feels like it's taken a little bit too long. At the same time, as it sits longer and we come back to it and we have a new perspective, the story changes, and 99% of the time it's for the better. So it started out one way and it had all these things, and now that I've sat on it longer and it's morphed into this other thing, it's still at its core the same book, but there's a lot of just new things that I've brought to it. I'm even more excited about it. So the kind of general synopsis is 3 kids, their parents go missing. They go live with grandma and grandpa, and they discover that they have the ability to go into books. So they actually get trapped in one. That's all I'm gonna say for right now. We'll slowly reveal more over time. We still have Zach Raw, our artist, working on the art. I just got a pitch from him today for the artwork. That's gonna be the struggle. So that's one of the things that mentally has been wearing on me more. It's that, and the other thing is me and my wife are having our second kid. We're having a baby girl. Her name is Emma, and she is due February 5th. So with that, money-wise, things have gotten a little bit tighter. So for us, making sure that obviously we can pay our bills and all that, and we're not struggling by any means, but it also means this extra money that I had that we were using to do these books, it's the reins have been pulled back on that. So I've had to dial back the art. I do know the art style that I want to go with. I was hoping it'd be a little bit cheaper, but Zach's price is kind of the same, and that's awesome for him. I'm not knocking him for that, because his price should be higher. I mean, he's very, very talented. So, but that does mean we're gonna have to dial the art back a little bit in terms of the number of pages that we want to do, which we'd already been tossing around the idea for this book for that. It will be black and white. It won't be full color like the other ones, which changes our price point on it, which is awesome. But with that, the current plan is I'm doing the outline. We have till the end of December, or I have till the end of December to do this. I'm gonna pitch it again to my writing partner, Isaac, and who is the other half of this equation with Oddball Publishing. And then me and him will sit down, and I'm writing it as pillars. Like I write it, and it's something I picked up from the South Park guys, which is like this, and then this, and then this, like this happens, and then this happens. And so I'm writing it like bullet points of what's happening. Then we can go in there, deconstruct that more, fill it out more. And that's the big thing with this that I want to do, is I want this story-wise to be a much meatier story. I want it to have more depth to it. I want it to have more pages. Intertwine was 120 pages. I want this to have even more than that, which means it takes longer. So aside from the money part, the thing that I think about is we're about to have a baby. Anybody that has kids knows that that can be a full-time job, right? So when both parents are working, and then you're trying to get this done, and then we have other businesses that we run, things like that, this is going to be quite the undertaking. So it's something that I've been dwelling on, just because I want to make sure that we do this to the best of our ability. I don't want to cut corners. I don't want this to be something that is rushed. With that, I'm also going into this with the understanding that this will take longer. Like, I'm not in a rush. Nobody's waiting on this book, right? So it's something that we can slowly get done. I want to do big chunks of the writing, and then I want to have Isaac come back through and clean all of it up, make it better. We reverse those roles a lot. So a lot of times he'll do the writing, and then I'll come through and I'll have the ideas and I'll steer the directions, and I'll be like, hey, let's rewrite this, let's change this. I might go in and actually write it myself a little bit and then have him retweak it. And we're constantly whittling down to the story that we actually want to tell. And with that, it's one of the things where, can I realistically do that or not? So part of me thinks yes, because I'm going to have a baby around here. So I've cut back on trying to promote my personal training business, which is what I do for my day job. I'm a freelance personal trainer. So I'm not actively pursuing clients right now. I've pulled back on that, and my schedule is a lot looser, but that's on purpose because I want to have the time to watch Emma versus we put her in daycare. And that's not only from a selfish standpoint of I want to be around her as much as I can, but also a monetary standpoint. It's just expensive to do that. So do I go get more clients so we could pay more for daycare? Just monetarily, it doesn't make sense. So we're kind of taking this as the opportunity to do that, but with that comes less money, right? So all these things are kind of like this storm that we're kind of trying to figure out and navigate through right now. So couple weeks from now, I should have this done. Me and Isaac will meet over Christmas break. We'll try and nail this down. We'll start that process. I'm hoping I can get a decent chunk done in December. I'm also hoping that if I do this well enough in terms of writing the outline, and I do need to say, hey, I need you to take this over, he has enough here that we can get it going, right? And Isaac's a very talented writer, so I know it would be in good hands, so I'm not stressed about that. So we have a very, very good process over the last, 3 or 4 years of writing books together. So the hope is this should come out by next year at some point, and then we have Intertwined, the second book that we want to do in that series. And then we need to go back and finish the fourth book in our zombie book series, which is it was a two-parter that we split up, so we got to finish that. And then hopefully get on to Zach's book that we've been talking about doing with him for a long time. So I'm going to flip this around really, really quick and just kind of showcase the Google Doc here and how I write the bullet points, right? This happens, then this happens. Character information, right? Side points, and then a second sheet that I'm filling out, which is more information on backstory. So this is super loose right now. If you go to, see if I can pull it up really quick. If we go to Intertwined, we have multiple sheets that we have. A structure for the Witch Society, story pillars, name options, things to get completed, and this is just the Google sheet. This isn't us writing in the Google Doc yet, which that's where the story takes over, and then we can put side notes on the outside of that. So it's been really streamlined. I wanted to try something that would allow us to communicate better as a team, but it's just another thing to take on, so I decided to ditch that. This is working for right now, so I'm not going to try and shift or change anything. So that is it. I don't know what the plan is just yet. I might do these weekly for a while, just to keep everything up to date. Not only for, anybody that happens to watch this, but really as a time capsule. So later on, I can watch it, Isaac can watch it, my wife, my son, my daughter can watch it, and they can kind of see what our thought process was, where we were when we were writing this book. So that is it, everybody. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to follow along with this too, and our other content as well, which we're hoping to ramp up, hit the subscribe button for me. That's another thing that I'll talk about later too, which is just creating content for this, the personal training business that I have, and then I have YouTube video game stuff that I do that actually earns a little bit of money as well. So trying to make sure I can tap into each of these as best I can. But also understanding that I got to take care of myself sometimes. Also, sometimes I need a break. Sometimes I got to take a rest. So that's kind of where we're at right now with all of that. So I don't know when the next one will come out. I'm gonna shoot for a week out. That's the plan right now. If I start to see, hey, that's not gonna work, I will talk about that in the next video, and we'll figure that out from there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Check back soon for more videos.